lane, you let it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the bullroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the bullroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm also joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you today?
Hello, everybody. I'm fantastic and very excited to be here with all of you.
Awesome. Yes, good deal. We have some updates to go over as usual. LA and I both have a hard deadline, so we'll try to keep it under about an hour. We moved through the last AMA on Monday really fast, but before we get started, I muted my Discord notifications first of all. I heard that was pretty distracting in the last AMA, so I'm slowly learning how to be a better streamer or YouTuber. And along with that, we always want to recommend to please like, comment, and subscribe. We've been averaging almost 100 likes per video now, so shout out to all of you that are again putting in that little brick at a time to help us grow and help our channel get in front of more people. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have questions, we would love to hear from you. Please make sure to put those questions in the live chat, or we have a dedicated channel over on our Discord that we check every week, and you can ask over there to guarantee that your question will be read. So, all right, awesome. LA, we're gonna jump right in. So, I think the first topic today, again, is PulseChain. I know we kind of spilled the beans on the last AMA, but it is more than likely that we are just going to go ahead and launch on PulseChain with the secret project. We're so far along that it really doesn't make sense to scrap all that work and start over on a new chain. I know Arbitrum was one that we were considering. However, you know, as I've said all along, we definitely have plans for sister projects, and this idea that we were going to implement on Arbitrum, we could still do down the road. And so again, the idea is that, you know, all these things end up feeding the EMP mothership and bringing revenue back to the protocol. But again, no updates on that. Fusion is still the #1 priority, and we'll get the secret project out as soon as we can. Pulse was recovering, now it dipped back down. So again, it could be another good entry as well. So, all right, LA, anything you want to add to that, or any questions about our secret project?
No, I was surprised there wasn't more of a reaction after you let that cat out of the bag last week.
Yeah, no, 100%. I know we were asking for some feedback in VIP. Honestly, it was a lot closer than I thought it would be, the vote. So, and again, knowing that we put in all the effort already, and not to take more time away from Fusion, we're just going to go ahead and do it. So, again, that being said, there's still some last minute testing and making sure that everything's lined up, but hopefully an announcement on that shortly. So, all right. Up next is the L1X public sale. So, and that's just through the L1 DEX. And we have some other news with L1 DEX as well. So, on Monday's AMA, we're not going to be able to get through it today, but on the next AMA, Monday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing a walkthrough of how to register for the L1X wallet and get yourself set up for that. So, I know a lot of you have been asking where we're at. We had a lot of volume come in. We're almost at 200,000 raised for the public sale. And I think LA, you just posted the link as well, right? Go ahead if you want to add some other info. I know we've gotten a lot of questions about it. So.
I did. The main question is how to set up the wallet, and that's why we want to make sure that we're going to be doing a little tutorial next time. Right now it's still on testnet, but before the beta mainnet, that's a mouthful, launches, L1X is going to be putting out more information, and we'll make sure to stay up to date with informing everyone. But we are going to do a little walkthrough on Monday. And the key thing is whatever wallet that you've been using, either for the pre-sale or the public sale, you need to use that same wallet number, that same wallet when you're registering for your L1X wallet, so that the tokens are easily going to be making their way to you.
Yep, 100%. And again, we what I did, and again, I would recommend this just for some safety reasons and keeping everything separate. And we really want to promote people registering for the L1X wallet itself. So we're gonna try to get Cody on as well for Monday, as that's his baby. He's the lead architect on the L1X wallet. But what I would do is I would generate a new L1X wallet address. Use that for all your L1X, interactions. And I would definitely say, obviously keep that seed phrase, don't share it. And then you'll be able to access. But like Ellie was saying, if you went ahead and already contributed to the pre-sale or the public sale through your MetaMask wallet, which again is it's all the same depending on what RPC you use. But that address is what will receive the token. So then, you can just log in and then send your L1X tokens to that new wallet when that is available. Again, I don't think you're able to transfer L1X between wallets until mainnet, but that's just good protocol to keep everything separate. So, and actually, he may even be here. Is he raising his hand? I think. Let me. LA, do you see Cody? You want to bring him on?
There he is.
Harry, the man, the myth, the legend, Cody. So, hey, brother, you want to add anything to that? I know we weren't planning to have you until Monday, but hey, you're here, so go ahead, bro.
Hey, somebody was talking about the wallet. My ears were burning.
Exactly. You knew, man. You had to jump on, so go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So, yeah, we can jump more in depth on this on Monday, no problem. But just to kind of give everybody some peace of mind, yeah, we're making it super simple for people to create and claim their L1X tokens. So, literally, it will be when it comes time. It will be as simple as clicking a link, downloading the wallet, setting up a few things on your L1X wallet, going inside your wallet, hitting a claim button, heading on over to the L1X DEX to claim and stake or claim your tokens. It's literally that simple.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And again, don't ever fall, for any false airdrops or copycat L1X. That's another great side effect of having this closed beta. That there will be a lot less scammers. But yeah, again, I know Cody, you guys have been working really hard, and I know I just got done before the AMA listening to your Binance live. There was like 3,000 people on that. So that was a great video. If anybody wants to see that, is that now up on your YouTube channel yet, or not?
I don't know if it's up there yet. I know the team was working on trying to get it.
For sure.
But if it's not, definitely keep the lookout on our socials as well, because we'll be broadcasting and promoting that as well. It was a great AMA. I enjoyed it thoroughly. That's
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Totally. One of the best. I know you've been doing a lot of standalone videos on the L1X YouTube about the wallet as well. So, all right, we're gonna go into a deep dive on that on Monday for sure. But before everybody leaves, I guess maybe just one more thing again. As long as you contribute at least $1,000 to the public sale, or you had done that in the pre-sale, you will get access to the wallet early, right? I know we were moving away from the wording of a premium wallet. So can you maybe just go over that real quick on why it would be a good idea to make sure you get it at that level and what it entitles you to with the wallet now that you guys have kind of made some updates?
Yeah, for sure. So yes, that is correct. If you donate over $1,000, you'll basically get early access. Well, let me put it this way: if you put $1,000 in and you pre-register for the wallet, you're pretty much guaranteed early access, right? So definitely jump on that if you haven't, and head over to l1x.foundation/wallet to register for it. And just make sure that you got $1,000 in there, and then you'll go. The other thing, that another perk, this is a little bit of alpha, is that if you do end up getting the wallet early, you will also be able to get the another little special perk that I'll drop on Monday as well.
All right, there you go. Perfect. Good job, Cody. You're enticing them to tune in on Monday. So there you go. There's your little Easter egg for all of you that want to come and make sure you watch our AMA. So all right, brother. Well, awesome. I appreciate you jumping in about the wallet. And again, hang out around here as well, because next we're gonna be going into Fusion, and maybe we can talk a little bit more about that as well if you have time. So all right.
I've actually got to jump over to another call.
All right.
So
Yeah, no worries.
but I will be back on Monday as well, and we can talk all L1X and Fusion you want.
All right, perfect, brother. That sounds like a deal. So, all right, thanks for jumping in. And the bat signal was up in the air about wallets. You had to come. So the bat signal works. So
Yep, exactly.
all right, man.
All right,
Thanks,
talk to
brother.
you guys later.
All right, you got it.
Bye.
All right. All right, awesome. Well, there you go. Really quick impromptu drop in from Cody. How about that, LA?
That was really good. If you don't mind, you actually jogged my memory on something that
sure.
we meant to share with everyone tonight, but I didn't put on our notes. So it's not L1X related, but we wanted to remind everyone just of a safety notice. If you're subscribed to our email list, we only have one official email address, and that is support@EMP.Money. And we only ever will have one unless we make an official announcement on our AMAs and in our pinned messages. So we just wanted to preemptively give a safety announcement just so that no one else could ever make a false email for EMP to try and get you to click on an airdrop or anything like that. If you're subscribed to our list, that is the official list, and that is our official email address. And so it is a good practice to just double check who the email is coming from, because there are lots of email scams out there these days. I actually received one in my personal email the other day that was labeled PayPal. I could tell in just 20 seconds that it wasn't actually from PayPal. It said I owed money for some Bitcoin, funny enough. But there's lots of email scams and stuff out there. So we just wanted to do a little safety announcement and make sure that everyone knows that is our only email.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. Great point. I know this was supposed to be on our list, but I'm glad you remembered. So yeah, I mean, again, the side effect, as a lot of you know, we got listed on CoinGecko again with all of our updated tokens and some other listing sites. But the side effect is that the scammers come out of the woodwork. So yes, don't ever get spoofed on fake emails. LA, one more time, what is our official email? And maybe also post that in the chat as well.
Yeah, it's support@emp.money.
Perfect. So if you see airdrop at EMP.Money or marketing at EMP.Money, all those would potentially be scams. So just bookmark or save support at EMP.Money. And again, we our email list was never hacked. We use a third-party provider, so you should never get solicited directly anyway. But we just want to make sure everybody's aware that is the actual email. And yeah, never ever, if it sounds like it's me or LA or anybody, and we ever ask for your, private keys or to click a random link or whatever, those are all scams. So go ahead, LA. Yeah.
And I do have a personal one as well with an EMP.Money, but I will never randomly send you something. If we're having a discussion and you ask me to email you something, then you would be notified ahead of time. I would never just randomly email you something. So I'm not going to read off my email right now unless there was a specific reason for me to send you specifically an email. So
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And again, when in doubt, you're more than welcome to tag either LA or I in one of our public chats, whether it's Discord or Telegram, and we can publicly verify that it's the legit person and not a scammer. So again, unfortunately, we have to spend time going over this and educating everybody because you have to be safe with your keys and your crypto. But the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the less the scammers can infiltrate. So, all right, awesome. All right, anything else on the L1 Dex news or anything on the wallet or anything on the emails? Go ahead, Ellie.
yes, so we officially for like the third time, I think, we finished the white paper.
Yes, I know.
When was it? On
We're always
Friday?
adding bullish stuff, so we have to stop
On
adding and just
Friday,
get it out. Yeah.
we handed it over to the designers, and so it is being finished in the design work right now for the L1 Dex light paper. So as soon as I believe that Jake's team is actually putting it up on a website and doing it kind of in that format. So as soon as that's finished, we'll be putting that out to you guys. It's just design now, and that's it. All the wording is 100% done. We're sure of it. We're not going to add anymore.
Yeah, 100%. So, and again, that is maybe a little more alpha. So yeah, the guys at DexFi, again, who are partners with us in building L1 Dex, they always go above and beyond. So, Jake and his team are actually putting the white paper as an interactive website. So, you don't have to download a PDF or go to some generic GitHub. It'll be a legit website that has not only the white paper but also a pitch deck for all of our Dex partners as well. So really exciting. I've seen some previews. It looks amazing. So again, I know that people are saying, well, how long does a white paper take? Jeez, but I promise you, everything we do is about trying to under promise and over deliver. So it will be coming hopefully in the next few days. All right, awesome. Yeah. Anything else, Ella? Go ahead.
Nope, not on that.
All right, killer. So, all right, now this is Fusion updates, and one of the big topics, again, I just wanted to lead off with, and within the title today, is protocol-owned liquidity. And I don't think that people understand how important protocol-owned liquidity is. And so, not only with the L1 DEX, but also through EMP. This is a game changer, and it's what makes Fusion so bullish moving forward. And I know a lot of other protocols in the space are moving towards protocol on liquidity, and you can see how successful that has been for token prices overall. So let me back up just a little bit and kind of say what POL is, or protocol owned liquidity. That means that rather than having to create LP and incentivize that LP through farms, like we do here at EMP, or yield sharing, or yield farming in traditional sense of other dexes. That is what we would call mercenary liquidity, and that means that liquidity can be removed at any time, and that puts people in a very dangerous situation. And honestly, it's been what has killed 99% of other tomb forks or seigniorage protocols, and it's known as a run on the bank. And that's when everybody panics, they remove their liquidity, and then the token price becomes so volatile that it either goes to zero, or nobody's able to cash out. So we're solving all of that with Fusion and moving towards protocol-owned liquidity. And overall, this gives us a lot more control while still being decentralized. And it also allows for us to harden the price. So we've said this multiple times. There will be some short-term manipulation as we purposely reduce the liquidity of EMP and eShare, and then that allows us to then regain peg a lot easier. And then once we regain peg, we are able to harden the price by pairing our protocol-owned liquidity at that peg value, and that really helps again moving forward with price stabilization and the ability for everybody to cash out, if they want to. And really, the way that Fusion works, we don't really need to have deep liquidity on EMP itself, because now the value is locked up inside of an NFT, which is your microgrid. So again, the volume is really only buying volume on the LP pair of EMP. And we even have some other tricks up our sleeve that we're not really ready to discuss. One of the many things within Fusion that we really haven't released yet. Again, we said all along, there are some things in Fusion that will be a surprise. And the first thing that the first time it's ever been done in crypto, and we're excited for what that means in terms of how the LP will react as well. So that's just a high-level overview of why protocol-owned liquidity is so important. And remember, you can have a $10,000 token price, but if there is no liquidity to cash out, none of that matters. So it's always our priority to have deep liquidity on any of our tokens as well. So all that is in the works for Fusion. So all right, before I move away from POL, Ellen, anything you want me to elaborate on with that, or any questions in the chat while I was talking?
Just notably, I mean, that's a big reason why we're still alive today.
For sure.
I was having a discussion with someone in our Instagram earlier who was inquiring about whether they could withdraw from Detonator. And I was mentioning, it's a locked contract, and we had that clearly stated in our white paper. And I got to thinking about it after the discussion, and how I should have mentioned that, that's a big part of the reason why, we're healthy, we're alive, because we have had so much locked liquidity and and in the future with Fusion, that's going to become much, much stronger because of the way that things are structured and set up. And it's really a winning formula. So
yeah, no, 100% LA. So yeah, again, I thought it was timely considering the success of some other protocols. Again, we won't mention names, but I think that it's a really important point moving forward. And on the flip side of that, protocols that may seem successful on the surface, if their liquidity, drains enough to the point where, even if it's a healthy token price, you can't even cash out, because there's less than, say $100,000 of liquidity or even less. I mean, $10,000. That becomes a real problem. So, and again, eShare and EMP liquidity will be built back after fusion as well. So right now it's all part of the game plan, and it really makes it healthier moving forward. So, all right, let me go into some other updates. Again, we are in the final stages of fusion. All individual pieces have been completed, and now we just have to kind of wire everything up, connect all the dots, and then a final test as an entire working product. So that is where we are in terms of development. Again, I want to give a date as bad as all of you want a date. It's just irresponsible of us to do that until the code is essentially done. So it's getting closer. I know everybody keeps kind of poking fun at the end of the year. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely hope that Fusion is out before the end of the year. We're talking weeks instead of months. But again, until you hear a actual date that you can rely on, that's it. So, and in the meantime, now again, not financial advice, but now would be an ideal buying opportunity. I mean, we went over it quite in depth on the last AMA, and in terms of the peg bonus. And again, all of you that bought EMP at peg when it was, around 50 cents, if you had just held EMP, that EMP until today, you really aren't getting as much of that peg bonus as those that buy at these levels do. So again, we are making everybody whole, even if you bought at peg, that 50-cent level. But the real value is, and the real opportunity is buying EMP at these levels. So I get that some of you are tapped out. Never ever invest more than you can afford, and don't, ever, put yourself in a bad situation doing so. But if you're able to DCA in at these levels, you will experience the maximum peg bonus on EMP as we start recovering. So, LA, you want to add to that, or go ahead?
Yes. I did want to clarify a few things about what we went over last time, because there were some questions in the Discord Fusion questions section, and it seemed like it was a little bit confusing for some people. So just a few things to clarify. We're not going to go over the whole thing again, but so the first thing is, no matter when you bought your EMP, whether you bought it 6 months ago, 12 months ago, yesterday, you qualify for the one-to-one bonus.
For sure.
So there's a little bit of confusion about that. So whether you bought it when we were at peg, like halfway to peg now, you qualify no matter what. That is a standard that's going to be built into the code of the sacrifice. Now, what we were getting at last week, or Monday, when we were on the AMA, is that if you had purchased when we were at peg, because the bonus is rewarding you as if we were at peg, you're not receiving a bonus. However, what's happening is it is technically still a bonus because we're making you whole, because we're far below peg now and you're being rewarded as if we're at peg, which means that you're pretty much being treated as if you are receiving the same amount as you did when you purchased it. Now, there was a question about that, as if you will receive the same dollar value, the same exact dollar value as when you purchased it. And that is not what we're implying, because the price of ETH goes up and down and all around every single day. And the peg is determined by the price of ETH. So the price of ETH divided by 4,000. And that's how we determine that peg value that we're rewarding at. And so if you purchased when ETH was at 3,000, 3,500, that's different from if you're purchasing when or sacrificing when ETH is at 2,000, the value of peg is going to be slightly different. And so it's not the dollar value in that sense. I don't know if AJ can explain that in a little more depth, because I'm not really a math person, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's kind of the disconnect that I think a lot of people are having is, yeah, like LA said, it's not necessarily the dollar value at the time that you bought your EMP. It will be the dollar value that translates into your microgrid value. So again, once we're live, this is going to be a little easier to visualize, but the idea is that you are getting this peg bonus applied to your microgrid value. And so not only does that represent your share of ownership, because there's only so much EMP in circulation. So your share of ownership doesn't necessarily change or have a bonus other than the early sacrifice bonus, which is a whole nother thing that we can talk about in a second. But just for the peg bonus alone, um, there's only so much EMP. So you are getting, a specific portion of that ownership. However, moving forward, nobody will ever be able to buy that share of ownership at the same price that you can today. So therefore, it does translate into dollar value of your microgrid because people that want to enter the protocol, 6 months from now, a year from now, they're going to be paying uh, the prices of EMP at peg. And again, who knows? It could even be double that because ETH could double by that time. But that is where the real win comes in because now you can sell, 10% of your microgrid to newcomers at a much much higher value in terms of dollar value than they would be able to buy it in the future. So again, I know that's really somewhat difficult to wrap your head around. I'm happy to try to explain that a little more. I think once the white paper is out there, more importantly, once Fusion is live and functioning, it will be a lot easier to demonstrate. But all of that combined really, again, just drives home that there is no better opportunity of preparing for Fusion as there is right now. And so, again, all of that doesn't even include the early sacrifice bonus, which will be an additional bonus that we implement every 24 hours after we announce sacrificing going live. And that will give you an additional bonus on top, that again makes sure that we get everybody that wants to be in Fusion ASAP. So, all right. I think we also may have Vino here. He may be able to add a little bit more to the conversation. But go ahead, LA, before we bring him on. Was there something else you want to say? Go ahead.
yeah, and I just did want to say one more thing based on a conversation earlier in the main chat. I just want to reemphasize that there is nothing that we know that you guys don't currently know. So we're not holding anything back from you. Every Monday and Thursday when we get on these calls, the information that we relay to you about the progress and where we're at is the information that we currently have. I want to remind you that there's a bunch of coders locked in their coding dungeons, typing away at screens, working on Fusion, and coding is really freaking boring. And they're working on things, and there may not, between a Monday and a Thursday, there may not be something significantly new to report to us to blow your minds on the next AMA. And as much as we want to have that mind-blowing piece of alpha for you, if we don't physically have something that we know in order to tell it to you, we can't just make it up out of the top of our heads just to excite you. We would never do that. And so I just want to remind you that everything that we know, you know. The only exception to that right now is the battery prices, which I explained last week. I keep saying last week because I have no idea what day it is. On Monday, that we have made the decision to let the developers code them and test them, and we want to have a graphic ready before we explain to you how all of those work. But that is the only exception to that. That's the only piece of information that we currently have that you don't. But other than that, every update that we give you is the most current piece of information that we have. Right now, the developers have all of the individual pieces done. They've been at work for about the last week and a half, putting it as one big piece and testing it, which means that they're getting closer and closer every single day. And when we get the next update beyond that, you guys will be the very first to know.
Yeah, that's a really good point, LA. Again, we do everything we can to relay the sentiment of the community to the devs, and they know that it's a priority, and they work hard to make it happen. But LA and I are not literally, sitting over their shoulders, watching them code or telling them, what to do and when. And so, again, it will be here as fast as it can be. And we definitely, try to relay that information in real time. And again, the only exception to that is, like LA said, some of the information that is either, just not ready to be shared because we don't have the proper visual aids and all the exact info to illustrate it, or it's proprietary and it's information that we don't really want to release because this is brand new tech and brand new code that we think a lot of people will want to either copy or fork. And until we can have first mover advantage, we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot. So, but I can tell you, we are more transparent than any protocol I've ever been a part of, especially when it comes to development. So, just hang in there and it'll all come together eventually. So, all right, awesome. Vino, are you there? You want to add anything to this, brother? Or I don't know if he's unmuted or we brought him on. Or LA, anything else you wanted to add? Oh, here he is, I think, maybe. Go ahead, LA.
He's
And Vino.
unmuted.
Vino, go ahead, brother.
Hey, can you guys hear me good?
Yep, loud and clear.
Good deal. I don't have any more inputs on the peg bonus that you guys explained. I thought that you guys covered that really well, but it brought up two questions that I had, both actually coincide with the conversation that you were having. And I had a curious question. Will the peg bonus be like whenever users sacrifice their EMP or LP into Fusion? Will that be a daily snapshot of the ETH price divided by 4,000, or will it be a quote unquote live price feed where it updates similar to the UI on the EMP.Money website?
Yeah, this is an awesome question, Vino. So again, man, I love having you on because you're one of the few that's actually, really taking all this to heart and asking the right question. So yeah, as of right now, the way that will be calculated is actually a TWAP, so a time-weighted average price. Just like the boardroom was calculated, that same sort of mechanism will be implemented for the price oracles. And this just makes it to where, a whale or cannot just drop the price or pump the price and manipulate the sacrifice value on that. So that because we're doing a TWAP, it's even more of a reason that you don't really want to wait until the last minute, because we could see, people pumping EMP as sacrifices announced, and then that peg bonus becomes less and less for you because you waited too long. So yeah, does that help illustrate,
Yes, absolutely. And ironically, I didn't even think about it being a TWAP similar to the boardroom or our current peg. So that's really bullish. And the other question that I had was, you had mentioned the circulating quantity of EMP and how there will never be any more. And that made me think about EBond sacrificers versus those that don't sacrifice their EBonds, but we hit peg. Will they be able to mint outside of Fusion, or will the code be changed where whenever they go to quote unquote redeem, that gets added to their their microgrid balance?
Yeah, this is again another awesome question. So, as it stands right now, we are hoping to mitigate peg again just based on what we own. As we get to peg, when we get above peg, it actually becomes profitable for the treasury to sell EMP. And again, we say never sell EMP, but the way Fusion works, that is something that doesn't hurt anybody now, and could be pure revenue for the protocol depending on the buying and selling volume. So that would be the first thing, is that we try to mitigate ever printing more EMP just by selling into the LP when we're over peg. And then secondly, yeah, I mean when you sacrifice bonds to the fusion sacrificing, the treasury then owns those bonds. So we would be able to then redeem any of those outstanding bonds if needed. But again, the idea is that hopefully we just are able to burn those bonds, and that actually reduces the potential supply of EMP, because when you redeem bonds, that EMP is minted. So yeah, again, a lot of that is just the goals moving forward. Once we get closer and we have to cross that bridge, so to speak, there may be some other things that we need to do to help mitigate any potential issues. But again, I mean, by having deep liquidity and having enough EMP to sell into, being over peg, we really don't think it'll ever be a problem of a bad actor being able to buy bonds and then redeem those bonds above peg. So does that make sense? Or happy to
Yeah,
elaborate? Okay.
it kind of makes sense. I'm going back a couple AMAs. I was forecasting 60% of people sacrificing into EMP, and there's about 1.5 million bonds. So I wasn't sure if they were able to redeem those bonds outside of Fusion and then sell them, which again wouldn't be a problem because the majority of the liquidity would be owned by EMP. But I just wasn't sure if they'd be able to redeem outside of Fusion, or if it just went straight into Fusion whenever they click redeem.
Yeah, so, and again, to elaborate a little more on that, the idea is that we only want to reward bondholders if they're going into Fusion. So if you are a bondholder and you're hoping for us to recover peg so that you can just redeem and then dump and then get out completely, I would say don't count on that. So, and really, it makes more sense for you, even if that is your game plan. You actually make way more money sacrificing your bonds into Fusion with an early sacrifice bonus and that potential peg bonus, because you then get that equivalent value in your microgrid, and it's much healthier to try to sell your microgrid rather than dumping the EMP. So again, I mean, we're trying to reward good actors and eliminate potential bad actors, and that's another way. And then after this, I mean, we never have to use those terms ever again, because it's impossible to be a bad actor in the protocol, because there's no choice. And that's one more thing I just want to elaborate on. There will be people that just buy EMP and sell it as we start recovering peg. And although that will slow our recovery, again, that's only a one-time problem, because once they sell, then that's it. I mean, they have to buy back at a higher price, to potentially do it over again. So, we're taking all this into account as EMP recovers, and there will be a point, within the next or within, say 3 or 6 months, or sooner even, after Fusion launches, that there are no more dumpers, and then we're able to maintain peg indefinitely. So that's again the ultimate goal.
Hell yeah, I love it. I love that you also brought up the if they just decide to buy and sell and play the peg game, because one of the core aspects with Fusion is also the BBE, which is causing persistent buy pressure on EMP. So
Totally.
no matter what they do, there's just going to be, an upward pressure on the price of EMP.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, back to the topic of today, protocol owned liquidity or POL, that's going to be also extremely limited with lower liquidity, meaning, we're able to control, people dumping EMP on our heads because the price impact will be so high that they take a haircut. And it really just it makes more and more sense for you to go into Fusion, even if you don't believe in Fusion, you're getting enough value out of Fusion that you can then just try and sell your microgrid to somebody that does believe in Fusion rather than trying to manipulate the token price. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm done rambling. I love going in on these deep dives, but I just wanted to ask a couple questions. I'm gonna let you guys get back to it, man.
All right, awesome, Vino. Appreciate you, brother. And yes, thank you for always asking the right questions. So, those were some great topics that we usually don't get into the nitty gritty of everything. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, awesome. All right, that was awesome. LA, any other, let me go through Fusion.
Yes.
Yeah, I know we have a Q&A and we gotta wrap it up here shortly as well. But I think one of the other topics was going over the value of ESHARE again, right?
Yeah, why ESHARE is so valuable within the Fusion ecosystem.
All right, yep, I'll tackle that one, and then we'll have one more that I want you to go into in terms of marketing. So, all right, so yes, eShare, and again, I think people are still not putting the pieces together. eShare is still extremely valuable within Fusion, and it does operate a lot differently than the way it operates now in terms of deriving its value from the boardroom, but eShare still has that inherent value of the health of the ecosystem. So as we regain PEG and the ecosystem is firing on all cylinders, eShare will be the only way to get ahead in the protocol by converting it to energy and buying, either other batteries or boosters. Now you'll be able to earn that energy, but if you're not already in Fusion, the only way to get energy is by buying eShare. So this is a really important distinction moving forward, and it's even more important when we recover PEG. So, and then on top of all of that, there will be a ton of organic buying volume on eShare through our marketplace. So the idea is that eShare is the only token that you're able to transact in within the Fusion marketplace. However, if you're new to EMP or new to Fusion, and maybe there's an NFT or a partner token pre-sale, something that you want access to in our marketplace, but you have not earned any eShare or energy to spend it on, you can then just use BNB or ETH or USDC to buy that item, and under the hood, all of that is converted to buying eShare. So again, that is massive buying pressure on eShare over time, and we also plan on again using a portion of those of that volume to actually burn eShare as well. And once eShare goes through the next halving, just like Bitcoin, next year around February, I believe, the emission rate of eShare will drop in half, and that means there's a lot less eShare being emitted. So, in theory, that will also increase the price of eShare. So, we have a lot of utility and incentive for eShare moving forward. I think that people just are. It'll be like the thing that everybody forgot about until it does a 5 or 10x, and people say, "Holy shit, I missed out on eShare." because I didn't realize all the things it had coming for it. So, does that make sense, LA, or anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's all about just wrapping your head around thinking about fusion in a different way than you're thinking about the protocol right now. And those of you who have already been able to switch your brain around to adjust to the fact that, you know, eShare is going to operate in a slightly different way, EMP is going to operate in a different way. I need to start approaching things and thinking about it in a new, different way. Are the ones who are getting super excited about the changes that are about to occur. And so eShare is going to play a different role, but still an incredibly vital and important role. And it's going to be very important to still have eShare. And so those in the know are stocking up in these low prices, just because of what AJ just said. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I mean, I do see I know it's probably half facetious, but do we think eShare will get back to $3 grand again? That I think could be a bit of a stretch. Again, I'm not really here to speculate on pricing, but you know, maybe a couple of years from now, when the supply is reduced and Fusion is killing it, then maybe. I mean, who knows? But a 5 or 10x from here, I think is extremely reasonable. And again, once the hot topic, I know everybody says this now, the flywheel. Once the flywheel of Fusion starts spinning, that is when we could see massive, again, volume going back into eShare. So right now, obviously we're at all-time lows. eShare made kind of a really sexy triple bottom. So we may be at the bottom in terms of TA. But yeah, I think that, with everything we have planned for eShare, with Fusion, it becomes the backbone of the economy. And again, that doesn't even include other mechanisms that we can add. I know a lot of you have been asking about up eShare, other utility cases for eShare. Those are all also in the works. We just have to get, Fusion up and running first.
Absolutely. So let's talk marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna let you take that, LA. You've been killing it. So I know we have a bunch of videos in the works. I know, everybody is clamoring for marketing now, but maybe you go over why it's a good idea that we have a multi-step approach to marketing. So yeah, go ahead.
So we were asked today why we're not screaming it from the rooftops right now and bringing in tons of new users right now. And so one thing I want to say is marketing is, and the success of it can be just about as much about timing as it is about strategy. And timing is part of the strategy. And if you take history by example, every single marketing launch and big promotion that we've done up until now has been a huge success, and every single one has become better and better than the last. And that's because we've been very strategic with our approach and our timing. And every time we learn and we grow and we add more to what we're doing based on what happened in the previous one. And this will be no exception. It's actually a lot more in depth than our previous ones. And so there's only a limited number of connections that you have and people that you work with and outlets that you use and that kind of thing, and budget and time. And AJ goes on these crazy long AMA streaks, but it's not that reasonable to think that he's going to do them every day for 100 days in a row without losing his voice. So if he were to start right now, he might be totally burnt out by the time Fusion even launches. And then when Fusion launches at the most pivotal time for us to bring in new users, he's lost his voice. He's totally out. We've already used all of our connections up. and we brought all the new users in just for them to wait and sit and have very little to do. So that's why we're not screaming it from the rooftops right now. But behind the scenes, I'm putting all the pieces together and contacting the people and putting together the plan so that when Fusion does launch, we have this massive marketing campaign, and it's going to be 2 tiers. So the first one's going to start as Fusion launches and we get some real noise out there about, this completely innovative new approach to DeFi that's never been done before. And then when things are really rocking and rolling and there's people talking about, how much money they're earning and what a comeback and all these things, then we're going to do another second whole wave of marketing to take that momentum and push it to a whole new extreme level. And so there is going to be a lot of screaming it from the rooftops, not just from us, but from many other people. It's about strategic timing and strategy and approach. And so there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes, and totally happy to share it with you as many times as you guys need it, or to clarify anything for you guys. So just ask if you need any clarification, but just know that we have powerful plans that we're putting in place.
Yeah, no doubt. I love this, LA, and it's so true. I mean, everything we do with a motive behind it. And one more point I want to make. I mean, the word on the street is, DeFi is pretty much dead. I mean, we see a lot of even larger YouTube channels not getting the views that they have gotten. I know a lot of these, fly by night YouTubers that maybe were never here for the right reasons to begin with. They're going back and talking about, drop shipping and all these other things that have nothing to do with crypto because they have to pivot. But again, that's even more of a reason why we don't want to be marketing right now to people that aren't even listening to what we're saying. So, and we've said this many times, that the best form of marketing is a giant green candle. And, when we, again, not if, but when we recover PEG and transition into a new, era of our protocol, that will be newsworthy in and of itself. I mean, a DeFi project that can recover, PEG and restore confidence and, from the lows that we've seen. I mean, that's unheard of, and that will again also, I think, not only instill confidence of everybody that's here, but also open up a huge marketing avenue for us as we start spreading the word again. So all this is in the works. I mean, again, LA is more than competent in putting it all together. Like she said, she's trying to save my voice and my energy for when we do need to hit it hard. And when that happens, it'll be all hands on deck. And that's a shout out to all of you, all the emperors and empresses. When we do finally have this marketing campaign rolled out, we need all of you to help, spread the word and show up, and show everybody why our community is so incredible. So, all right, awesome. I think that was a great overview. I know everybody was wanting a little more info on Fusion, so we spent a lot of today discussing Fusion. And now we can go into Q&A. I did see one question I want to answer first, LA, while you get ready with the rest. And again, we do need to make it a little quick here so we have time to get off. But the question was basically, why has Fusion taken so long? And again, I think that, I was the first to admit that Fusion was a much bigger undertaking than we had originally planned. I think that was a lot to do with it. I also think that we fell a victim to what we call feature creep. So that the as we were building out Fusion, we kept wanting, and we still keep wanting to add more and more amazing features within Fusion. And unfortunately, in the world of developing, the more things that you add, the more times that you edit, that always extends the rollout. So we finally had to make a decision as a team that this is good enough for an MVP or minimal viable product. One of those things we talked about on a past AMA was that we were hoping to launch the sacrifice without batteries, but if we did that, that would really lock everybody in to EMP, and we felt that that was not ethical, that we had to have some sort of a cash out option so that nobody's funds were held hostage in the protocol. So adding batteries to the MVP, that was a major, major undertaking that we were not planning for. So again, that's just one example of about 10 that has caused fusion to be delayed. It has nothing to do with the competency of the devs. I mean, we have the best devs in the business working on this. They are all, extremely smart. And that's another reason. These devs do not leave one stone unturned. And other protocols will rush code out and not do all the due diligence that it takes to make sure the code is solid and the code is safe. But our devs will. So if that means it's going to take another month or 2 months or whatever it's been, that's the consequence, that we all have to pay. So, all right, hopefully that helps give, again, more transparency into why Fusion is not finished. But, all right, LA, go ahead. Do you have questions? Yeah.
That was the main question in there. The other ones had been about the peg bonus, and we went over them already. So.
All right, awesome. Well, we're just at an hour right now. So, all right, then I think that's a great sign to wrap it up. If you did have a question that we did not answer, please join our Telegram or our Discord. We have a dedicated channel on Discord to ask your questions. I'm happy to answer them on Monday, which is our next AMA. We come to you live every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, another great AMA. We went over a lot today. So, LA, any final words before we sign off? Go ahead.
Yeah, just a reminder, try to be here on Monday if you can, because we are going to have Cody on here and we're going to go over those specifics about the L1X wallet. So it's going to be a really juicy one. And we are excited to help everyone prepare for that as the beta mainnet launch is coming very soon.
Yes, 100%. So, all right, yep, Monday will be a great one. Join us then. And again, thanks for all of you for showing up and liking and commenting and subscribing and supporting everything that we're doing here at EMP and what will become with Fusion. So, all right, good night, good day, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.